boy, oh boy, oh boy.
We're going to talk about some Total Recall tonight, babe.
We're going to recall some recall.
Recall, recall, recall. That's what Quaid's co-worker said. Recall, recall, recall. Remember that?
No.
Come on, man. You don't remember that?
Come on, man.
Come on, man. Well, here we go. Another Paul Verhoeven movie. After Showgirls and after Flesh and Blood.
Yeah.
You know, look, I'm still waiting for when we can do Basic Instinct. I don't know when that's going to be, but we're waiting for that new transfer to show up. No word on it yet, but it's my most
Is
eagerly...
it in the works?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Once again, it is I, your Duke of Dope Discord. You're here to see her. Who are you?
I am Elysabeth Gwendolyn Belle, the ace, the arbiter of cinematic excellence, and the enchantress of entertainment.
The Enchantress of Entertainment.
Yes.
So did you find Total Recall, 1990s Paul Verhoeven magnum opus Total Recall, to be entertaining?
Yes, it was very entertaining.
You were very entertained.
Yes.
Like Maximus asked the crowd in Gladiator, are you not entertained?
I was entertained.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Now, well, I guess before we get into it, perhaps I should pour up some wine.
Okay. Yes,
now, this wine, this is another Erewhon Red Mountain blend, I believe. But I picked it because it's got this orangey red. Oh, wait, I have to...
You have to change the
I have
camera,
to change the
babe.
camera. I always forget to do that.
You just get
Not
so
much of a
excited.
producer on this show. I do. I get so excited. You know, Erewhon kind of got a Martian red label on it. Kinda. Orangey red. Kind of the red color in this movie.
Yes.
A lot of red in this movie.
The whole planet is
It won
that
a
color.
special achievement for visual effects, this film. Maybe Dream Quest Images' finest hour. Rob Bottin of John Carpenter's The Thing fame and The Howling fame also did RoboCop. Re-teams with director Paul Verhoeven to do all kinds of shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
A lot of shenanigans happening in this movie. Lots. I'm very excited about this film, talking about it. But I'm more excited to get a little bit of wine in the gullet.
Right.
So,
well, we worked hard today.
we built a shed.
We built a shed.
Built a shed, didn't we? In the backyard.
We bought a zoo.
We bought, well, at least a shed.
We do have a zoo, though.
We do have a zoo,
And
a
now
menagerie.
we have a shed.
And now, you know, if we got the alpaca
Well, we
That
can
would-
keep the alpaca in the shed.
in the shed.
Oh, my God. That was
But then I can't put all the crap that I need here to make the Robservatory more habitable.
Well, then we need a second shed.
A second shed.
So we can have an alpaca.
Well, either way, we're getting away from the topic. Total Recall, ladies and gentlemen. Smells good. Let's take a sip. Mm-hmm. We've had this before. It's good.
Delish.
So I got to tell you, this script was long in development.
Mm-hmm.
Many people went to Ronald Shusett and Dan O'Bannon. Developed that Alien, coming from Alien. John Polville, who was also credited with the story, worked on Star Trek: The Motion Picture. Worked with Gene Roddenberry.
Very cool.
Was Gene Roddenberry's assistant for a while. He's also credited on this script. And I have to say that David Cronenberg, our man from Crash,
Yeah.
David Cronenberg was going to direct this script. And I'll tell you something. The first day I was at USC was the first day I ever went on campus. I'd never been on campus. I didn't go to orientation.
Wow.
I had never been on the USC campus. I always wanted to go there. So the first day I was on the USC campus, I had a roommate. And my roommate did not tell me that there was a cinema school library.
Oh.
That it didn't tell me this. So I went to this stately Doheny library on campus. Check it out. And they had a script catalog.
Wow.
A catalog of scripts that you could look at and read and check out. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. So I was like, I'm wondering if they have the script for Total Recall. And lo and behold, they did.
Really?
So in, I think it was August of 1988, I was sitting in the stately Doheny Library reading the screenplay for Total Recall. It was Cronenberg's version when he wanted like Richard Dreyfuss to star as Quaid. And I have to tell you, when I was reading
I
the
could see that.
well, I'm reading the script because he was like the everyman.
He was.
Like he was the everyman. You know, Richard Dreyfuss. You're all gonna die. You know, Richard Dreyfuss. That's not a very good Richard Dreyfuss impression, but Richard Dreyfuss was going to be in it. And when I was reading the script, it was one of those scripts that blew my mind. It blew my mind because you're following this, and he's the everyman, and he's married to his wife, and he's working kind of a blue collar job, and you think that you're waiting for it and that something to happen. Like, he's dreaming of Mars, and the moment when he goes to Rekall and goes into the machine and has that embolism, and they're like, he's been to Mars. Like somebody's already fucked with his mind. Right. I'm like, I literally was sitting, I think in the Doheny Library, I'm like, no way. Like, I was really totally into it. Now, I love Paul Verhoeven's movie, and when I worked at Warner Brothers, I had a one sheet for this on the wall, which was from a rival studio. And people are always like, why do you have that poster up in your office? I'm like, because I can't wait to see this movie.
Oh, it was before it came out.
Yeah, it was before it came out. It was like a year, or maybe a year and 2 years before it came out. I could not wait to see this movie. And I have to say...
Do you still have that poster?
I do not. Because I got it from Columbia. Columbia used to be on the same lot as Warner Brothers, so I could go over and get posters. So yeah, and I didn't frame it. It wasn't that good of a poster. I just wanted to have it on my wall at the office, just to piss people off. Like, why are you advertising a rival studio? Anyway. But I always thought it was kind of a strange choice when Schwarzenegger was cast. I mean, I was totally excited about this because how would you not? My whole thing was, how do you not believe that Arnold Schwarzenegger wasn't a secret agent? Like, he's all buff. Like, how did he get all buff? Just in his blue collar job, like cutting up rocks in a quarry or whatever.
A good job with the role, but I think it'd be interesting to have seen someone else in that role.
Well, yeah, it would have been a totally different movie because the whole thing is that when you find out he's really some kind of a secret agent and everything, but and it was Paul Verhoeven coming off of RoboCop, in '87. This is 3 years later, and
I never really loved Arnold Schwarzenegger. I mean, I don't know.
Well, because you can't take him seriously.
Yeah.
And the thing was,
and then when he makes faces, especially when he was pulling the thing in his brain out. And he's making all those faces. That was a Rob Bottin puppet. That was a figure. Yeah, but the faces he makes, like his mouth is so weird and his teeth.
Well, I think a lot of it's intentionally exaggerated. 2 weeks. Well, the thing about when he was cast, I was like, is that going to work? Because how are you not going to believe he's a secret agent? Like, you're supposed to, the revelation. But I was like, okay, I went with it. And what's really interesting about, I think, this film is just like RoboCop, it's almost a satire. Like, it's almost, everything is so over the top.
It's so over the top.
I mean, but it's so, Paul Verhoeven he keeps you somehow grounded. Like, you still buy it.
He loves to do everything over the top.
No, he does.
And pretty straightforward. I mean, there's no depth to his...
Well, I wouldn't say that. I think he brings a lot to. It depends on what kind of script he's working with, because his Dutch movies were not necessarily like that, like early stuff. Like, well, I guess that's not true. They were, because Business is Business, Turkish Delight, Katie Tipple, Soldier of Orange wasn't, but Spetters, Fourth Man, they all kind of have this heightened.
I haven't seen any of those, so
they're great. But so this movie opens, but I like. So here's the thing. Let me ask you the question right off the bat. So did this movie really happen, or is it all a Rekall-induced hallucination? Because this is the endless debate. Is this
right.
And if you look at the movie, in the beginning of the movie, he's dreaming of Rachel Tickerton, which is fine.
Yeah.
But then when he goes to Rekall and they pick the kind of woman he wants, it's her. So the whole you could say like Inception or something. Could the whole movie be a dream?
I mean, it's possible. Although when he's confronted by the doctor and his wife, and he sees the bead of sweat, he knows he's not in a dream. But then that could also still be.
Right. It depends how good the dream state, and also that doctor, that actor, he's in the commercial for Rekall that's on the train in the beginning of the movie that Schwarzenegger is watching as he's going to work.
Yeah. So
there's a lot to be said. I mean, they don't really make a big deal about that.
No, they don't.
But then that scene again in the original screenplay when the doctor comes and says you're actually in a hallucination.
Yeah, and I see now the influence on The Matrix. Especially like he cans him a pill.
Oh yeah.
I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
I see.
Oh yeah, no. The Matrix the Matrix is one reference after another. The Matrix references manga, comics, movies, all of it. It's all kind of
the Bible.
A lot of Bible. The Nebuchadnezzar. I mean, come on. But that's a different movie which we have yet to get to on this show. Mm-hmm. Maybe it'll be a viewer's choice movie.
Oh, maybe.
So anyway, I'm rambling on. So you said you did remember seeing this movie?
Yes, I did. I did see it.
But like with every other movie, even if you saw it 10 times, you wouldn't remember it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, once we got into it, the first few scenes, I was like, maybe I haven't seen this. And then, once he gets to the recall and everything, I'm like, yes, I have seen this.
Now, let me ask you this. What did you think of how this movie looked? The production design? All the
yeah. I mean, now looking back, it looks a little cheesy, but
it does look. I always thought it was a little.
It's a little cheesy.
It looks like it's a movie that was made in 1990, but it could have been made like 1958.
Yeah, it's a little cheesy.
I mean, the production design in this film was totally. I never dug it. I mean, it works for the movie.
Yeah.
And I liked a lot of the miniature work but you know it's miniature work. Like you can tell, like Stan Winston's Terminator puppets of Arnold in the first Terminator, you can tell when there's a puppet of Arnold's head. And like when people's eyes bulge out,
Oh, because, yeah, that was so silly.
I mean, but I love it anyway for that. Yes. I mean, despite the production design, how not my favorite, especially coming on the heels where 8 years previously you had Blade Runner.
Yeah, yeah.
So there is a, but the whole movie is drenched in the same kind of cheesy, like it all works
it's
together.
All cheese, but it works really well.
Right, exactly.
And you end up liking the film even with all the cheese.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we love cheese, so.
Well, good cheese. I mean, it's like, yeah. I mean, this is really, to me, this is high gloss, expensive. This is a B movie through and through, and I love it. And I think all of Paul Verhoeven's American films are these high budget B movies that are done with a foreign sensibility where everything is slightly kind of off kilter.
Yeah. You definitely see his hand in this film.
And
it's totally his aesthetic and everything.
Yeah. So like when you meet Quaid, I mean, he could have been in some white collar job, but he's out like in a quarry, almost like he's on a furlough from prison, like in a work.
Yeah, right.
He's like, I was a fugitive from a chain gang,
yes.
and he's in a quarry, cutting up rocks.
Yeah.
Like, don't they have lasers to do that?
Right.
Like what?
Don't they have lasers?
Or big mining machines like you see on Mars? What are these dudes in a rock quarry? Like, but for me, I'm like, I just go with it because it showcases Schwarzenegger's bulging. I mean, his physique was in tip-top shape, and you get to see him no peen, but you do get to see him shirtless. And I gotta say, Sharon Stone I mean, she's extraordinarily delicious in Basic Instinct, but she is quite the 1990s dream girl in this movie.
She was pretty beautiful.
Smoking hot, right?
Yeah, totally.
I mean, my God. You want to tie me up? Fantastic. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I want to tie her up. It's 31 years later, and I still want to tie her up. And, no one high kicks like her.
Yeah, she's pretty amazing in this.
And then you've got, of course, Michael Ironside as Richter, Cohaagen's right-hand man. You got the great Ronnie Cox as Cohaagen, the leader of Mars, who's embattled because he's trying to suppress a rebellion. Mm-hmm. And there you got the mutant workers that the radiation on Mars has mutated
mutants.
them. So you got kids with exposed brains and their parents, and you got like if you're a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy fan, you've got Eccentrica Golumbitz, the triple-breasted whore from Eroticon 6, like brought to life, played by a girl that we later see as one of the chorus girls in Showgirls.
Of course.
The girl that
she does. She has 3 boobs. I mean,
why not? The girl that defended
movie was all
Nomi.
about boobs.
It was all about and they had to bring her back even though she's bi-boobed, not tri-boobed.
Well, true, because it's not on Mars.
Yeah. Now I have to give a shout out. I would be remiss if I did not give a shout out, which I've been doing this is the last time, but I feel obligated. Thank you to the lovely Emma Bannon in the UK. As everyone knows, I love to collect my physical media, and this is the Studio Canal. You can get this, the 4K, it's been released, but this is the 5-disc, very special edition from Studio Canal that for some reason, just like Flash Gordon, was out of print the day it came out, and they canceled my order. What is it with people canceling my orders? But I want to thank Emma. It's got a 2-disc soundtrack in there and 3 discs, 1 4K and 2 Blu-rays. So thank you, Emma. That's what we watched, and the transfer's spectacular. It looks great. Yeah. Sounds great. New Atmos track. Was kicking, Goldsmith score. So yeah, I mean, I'm a huge fan of this movie, and but I think it's got a lot. This movie's pretty epic in terms of its storyline.
The storyline is great,
and it starts small, right?
It starts small, yes, and then as you're going in to the story, there's all this layering and intrigue, and you're wondering, like, is this real or not real? And I love the part where that doctor shows up, and for a moment there you're like, oh, maybe he is still at the Rekall.
Oh yeah,
I loved all that.
No, it was great. And what I love, there is a secondary cast of characters. Of course, you got the great Michael Ironside, you got Ronnie Cox, you got Sharon Stone, you got Arnold Schwarzenegger, but they've got great, like, Mel Johnson Jr. as Benny the cab driver. I got 5 kids to feed, who's awesome. And Marshall Bell, who shows up, he was in Stand By Me. He plays Quado, or, George. Where's the rebel leader?
Oh, right.
Who has Quado in it, yeah.
With the creepy...
Yeah, and Roy Brocksmith, Dr. Edgemere, the doctor who's at Rekall.
Yeah.
Like, they're like people that only Paul Verhoeven hires. Like, these great character actors, which are amazing. Michael Champion, who's Richter's second in command, the guy with the glasses, who's like always giving him shit. Yeah. How do you feel about a guy porking your wife, porking your lady, or whatever? I mean, I bet she likes it. He's just like, it's so great. Anyway, I love it. And did you know who else is in this? Who's one of the Martian warriors? Gul Dukat.
Really?
Mark Alamo is the Mars soldier that first meets Richter when they get to Mars.
Oh, that's cool. Mm-hmm. Of course.
And Dean Norris from Breaking Bad.
Oh.
The brother from Breaking Bad, the cop. He's the mutant with the long face, the bald guy with the mutant. That's Dean Norris from Breaking Bad.
No way. Mm-hmm. Well, there you go. That's very cool.
And Lisha Naff, she's the triple-breasted whore from Eroticon 6, Eccentrica Golumbits, if you know your Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which I do. So like as the plot was unfolding, it's so interesting to me because I felt like I was watching the kind of movie that it just doesn't get made anymore at all.
Yeah,
there is nothing like this that gets made anymore at all.
No. Because it's not. It's too cheesy. I mean, we don't see cheesy movies anymore.
Well, this is an expensive cheesy movie.
It's still cheesy.
Everything now is so realistic.
It has to be super realistic.
Right, I know, and
for anyone to even care, which is sad because we're losing that.
But you need a director that can pull it off. Like I don't know if we just don't have. Like, you watch space movies now, and while I appreciate the effects, everything looks beautiful and looks really realistic. Like The Midnight Sky, George Clooney's new film that we watched. Great effects. The space effects are just mwah. But that movie doesn't. I don't mean it to be cheesy.
That's a very serious movie.
But like no matter what you watch now, everything looks so good.
Yeah.
There's no like The Expanse has a lot of similar imagery on Mars because Mars is a location, but even that it's very utilitarian. It looks very realistic.
Yeah.
But this has it's totally like out of a 50s sci-fi cheese fest.
Yeah.
But I love it for that.
So do I. We need more space cheese.
But I don't know if anybody... I think that it's just out of style. Yeah. I mean, there isn't another movie... I can't think of another movie that's similar to this. I mean, Paul Verhoeven is a singular director. If you look at RoboCop, you look at Total Recall, you look at Starship Troopers, maybe to a certain extent Hollow Man, they all have this strange... They take place not quite in the real world. Like they're
Flash Gordon, maybe.
Well, yeah, in a different way. But you know what? This is like a serious Flash Gordon.
Yes,
I mean, it feels like in a way.
It's a serious Flash Gordon.
So as we move on through the plot, I mean, it becomes kind of this labyrinthian layer upon layer. Did you ever have a hard time following it?
No.
You know, even when he opens up the case, hi, I'm you, you're me.
Right.
You know, I knew this was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And
get your ass to Mars.
Get your ass to Mars. You know. But it's interesting. Like Ronnie Cox wants to keep him alive. Like Ronnie Cox has put him.
Yeah.
It's kind of nebulous.
Why does he want to keep him alive?
Yeah, it's kind of nebulous.
Oh, because they're best friends or something.
They're best friends, but what really went down? I mean. That we know
I could see, if you're best friends, you don't. I mean, your plan is, to revert him back to who he is, who he was before.
Right, but the thing is, I think that the information he had was he knew that inside the mountain there was the alien machine, the alien artifact that could restore Mars's atmosphere, and Quaid, Hauser, the real guy, had fallen in love with Rachel Tickerton's character and gone over. And was going to turn on Cohaagen.
Well, he definitely wanted to kill Arnold.
And not at first, though. At first, he wanted to keep him alive.
Right, because that was what he was told to do.
But I mean, Cohaagen wanted to keep him alive. Ronnie Cox, the big bad,
the main guy.
Yeah, who had put him on Earth and changed.
It was his best friend, and he had a plan. His plan was. Once they were able to kill whatever that guy's
Cuado.
name. Cuado. With the weird baby man in his stomach.
Quaid.
It's so weird.
Quaid. I mean, it's like a garbage pail kid in your stomach.
It's a garbage pail.
Quaid.
So creepy.
It was great. I love it. Who doesn't love that? It's fantastic.
I mean, that's possible. Like you could be like Siamese twins, and your twin didn't fully develop and was attached to your stomach.
Well, he's a mutant.
He's a mutant.
He's a mutant.
His
Marshall
twin,
Bell's a mutant.
His twin didn't separate from him.
No.
And he became a Siamese twin.
And I like the fact that they didn't try and make him look realistic either. I mean, it's Quaid.
And they like zoom in on it in his creepy little mouth.
Oh, I love it. And the voice. And how Marshall Bell's is like, as Quado's out.
I'm like, why is he like totally out when his twin is talking?
Because his twin's taking over like his mind and body.
What? That was so weird. He looked
fantastic.
like drugged out or something.
I know. He's blissed out
it
on
was like super
his Cuado juice is pumping through his brain.
It kind of, even now, like the first time I saw it, and even now, it feels so creepy. Like when you discover his little man. His stomach, you're like, this is so creepy weird. And when he's like trying to hide it and stuff,
but delightful at the same time.
Like,
I mean, if I had a child, I would kind of like.
It makes you feel dirty. You're like, am I not supposed to see this?
No.
This makes me feel dirty.
I kind of want a Cuado in my tummy, like
Gross.
If you're ever sad and lonely, you can talk to somebody.
You have me to talk to. We don't need a Cuado in your tummy.
Well, if I didn't, I'm saying if I didn't have you, maybe I could have I'm just saying. But no, I mean, I think this film is, so many people get shot. Like when people get, like the first shootout when he goes home and he fights his own wife, when Sharon Stone is revealed to be in on it, and you don't know what's going on. It's almost like a great 70s paranoid political thriller. And that's how it's funny because it could have been played that way.
Yeah.
If you had another director and it stayed, you played it very realistic.
Yeah, seriously.
But it's Schwarzenegger, so it's got to be like over the top. Like when they go in, it's at Rekall, it's like, I'll kill you all. You know, it's not like, my head, who am I? He's like, everything goes to 11, like in all of Verhoeven's movies. And I mean, it's great. Even the cat, Johnny Cab, you know, the Robert Picardo.
I want a Quado in my tummy.
I want a Quado in my tummy. Doesn't everybody?
No, it's so creepy. And do you feed the Quado? Do you feed it?
No, you just have dinner together.
Or the food you eat like nourishes your...
No, he has a mouth.
Your
he probably,
conjoined twin.
I don't know. Maybe he's got his own stomach.
Maybe he wants to eat some too. But although you're out if you're like blissed out if he's awake.
Yeah, like does he crawl into your belly and then come out? Is he like a marsupial?
No, he's attached.
I know, but does he get to pull inside or does he stay there the whole time?
Yeah, that's the thing. Because when he has his shirt closed, he doesn't look that...
No. Maybe he sucks up inside his body cavity.
Yeah, I think that he kind of like sucks in.
And he descends down like good balls do.
Yeah.
You know, comes out. You know, if you're cold, he comes back inside.
That's right.
If it gets a little warmer, he's hanging.
He recoils.
You know, you never know. But no, I mean, I think that that's one of the joys of this film is that when the action starts, like I love the scene. I mean, you were even commenting when he gets home and he tells his wife what happened, and his wife calls up Richter, and there's the chase through the residential block where they live in. They're going up the escalator, and the bad guys just open fire on civilians.
Yes.
They just open fire on civilians.
And he uses
and
the guy
Quaid grabs just some poor bastard who's been shot by these guys and their high-powered weapons. Schwarzenegger just keeps Quaid or you know, Hauser just keeps holding this guy up to take the gunfire, and it's so over the top, and then he throws the poor dead dude.
Yeah, and then they all step on him.
Oh yeah, they cut. There's even a cutaway where you see somebody step on his dead corpse.
Yes.
You know, and no, that's actually another guy's dead corpse. I mean, it's just
one of the bad guys.
One of the bad guys. But
they step on him.
Yeah, they didn't have. That's like a whole insert shot.
It is.
So when they're taking it, you can just see Verhoeven going, "Oh, you know,
you gotta step on him."
Yeah, we need an insert shot, Rob. Can you just, Rob Bottin? We need a dead body, you know, riddled with bullets, and I just want to see a guy step over it. That's how life matters not in this movie. You know, it's that was a whole shot. That was a whole setup. They had to get a dead body. They had to rig it with blood. Yeah. And then, you know, they probably did multiple takes of it to get it right. And that's what I appreciate about this movie. This movie never skimps. And if someone gets shot, they don't just get shot. They get shot with a tsunami of blood. Yeah. The blood squibs are monstrous in this movie. And it's great. I love it so much. And Jerry Goldsmith's great score. I mean, a real symphonic score with electronic undercurrents, you know, and yet it's so loud and bombastic. And I mean, even the opening titles, you know, which are kind of falling down, and you hear this bum, 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 you know, and it's like, you know, whatever you're gonna see is gonna kick ass.
Yeah.
Just from his opening music, because it's just big. It's just big.
Yeah.
And then, you know, if it wasn't big enough, you got this giant alien machine that's bigger than you can possibly imagine that he turns on, and the whole core of Mars is ice. And within seconds, apparently, the entire Martian atmosphere is created and allows them to breathe.
Yeah,
I know I'm jumping ahead of ourselves.
That's at the end.
Jumping ahead of ourselves.
Are we at the end already?
No.
I wanted to talk about him dressed up as a woman with that mask.
Talk about that then.
Okay, here's the thing. Here's the problem I have with that.
Here it comes.
I love the whole idea of that.
2 weeks.
And the way she just like glitches. I love the glitching. But when he takes the mask off and it opens up and his head looks this big and her head is like this big, he's already a huge dude. There's no way she would have looked like a... I mean,
she's the Jabba the Hutt of the movie.
She's a big girl, okay, but
a Hutt. She's Hutt sized.
Yeah, but if you're over Arnold Schwarzenegger, who is ginormous, this woman would have been I mean, she would have been
Okay.
way bigger.
Are you talking about the verisimilitude of this scene?
Yes, I am.
Because what about earlier, before her head comes apart, you see this thing pop all the way out, like this giant machine. This.
Yeah. Where did that fit?
Well, that's the thing. In this movie, it really.
Well, it's up here, and his head is here.
It comes out the side. It goes. It would have gone right through his brain pan.
Yeah.
In this movie, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because it's just awesome. And then her face comes apart and there's the great Arnold Schwarzenegger puppet head. I mean, it just makes everything more awesome. Doesn't it?
Yeah, I was a little perplexed by, like...
I love it. So in the whole movie, this is what you bumped on. Like, yeah, I don't know about this whole scene with this woman. You know, I don't know if I don't know if Arnold's head could fit inside of her.
Exactly. She would be so big, so huge that it wouldn't even look real.
See, this is why. Now, I hope this doesn't come off as sexist, okay? But this is why I love watching movies like this with women, even since I was a little kid, because women are always going to stop and you're going to bump on something like that. Like her head just couldn't. Like the whole idea of putting on a woman's body thing and having a like that doesn't bother you. It's like, you know. His head's really big, and
He's
love
huge, and then for her to be like this huge mask over him would make her so big that it would be so unrealistic.
But see, as I think this is the great thing about watching movies with women. This is why men and women are different. We're different kinds of people. Like I'm thinking that's fucking awesome, and you're like, I don't buy that.
I don't buy that.
I don't think the head's not gonna. I mean, all the rest of the ridiculousness in this movie, you're cool with that.
Yeah.
But it's like my mom.
I'm okay with the whole alien, like putting the hand on the thing and then those heater things warming up the ice and then the oxygenating the whole planet
In seconds.
Yeah, in seconds. I thought it was really cool.
Well, you know, again, what I love about that, and there's a detail in that I always loved, is that there's a three-pronged, like whatever the Martians were, they had giant hands and like three-pronged hands. That's just an added detail.
No, it's 4 because these two were separate.
Okay,
it was like
4.
One big finger and then 2 other fingers and a thumb.
Oh, well, yes. Okay. Oh, right, because that's right.
Like that.
And I love that. Like it makes me like I think to myself, oh.
I love that too.
Yeah, and even at Rekall,
and I love when like aliens leave some ancient, like thousands of millions of years, they leave some kind of contraption.
You mean like the Guardian of Forever?
To save, yeah.
That doesn't turn into a person because he's a ruin. It's a ruin.
Right.
Anyway, that's a different conversation. We don't want to get into that.
What movie is that?
It's Star Trek Discovery and Star Trek The Original.
Right.
Anyway, we have to talk about that. But yes, I like that. There's alien ruins. But there's another thing. Like in Rekall, when they're at Rekall, and she's talking to Quaid, and she's like, and now with alien ruins. As if the alien ruins, they know about them at Rekall. And so that is an argument that's an argument that the whole movie itself is a dream.
Yeah, and even at the end they're like, could this be a dream within a dream?
Well, yeah, I mean, in case you didn't get it, but yeah, I mean, and that all the other, that's why it's over the top. The whole thing is a dream. The whole thing is this over the top
dream.
You know, because
so does that mean that nobody died? Yeah, that means that nobody would be dead.
It means none of this movie actually really happened.
None of it happened.
But I want to believe that it did. I choose to believe because even though the doctor says you get to save the whole planet, you know, like everything they tell him,
right?
And you know, what's the one thing that's the same?
Hey, then it's totally a dream. If the doctor told him absolutely everything that's going to happen, even about the alien ruins, and that he's going to save the planet, and they show him the girl of his dreams.
Well, that's kind of the
in the Rekall place before he even like sees her. Yeah. Now I'm thinking it was all
the whole thing. I mean, you could say the whole thing is a dream. It's like, yeah, because Arnold Schwarzenegger wakes up with hot Sharon Stone.
Yeah, I was thinking that's perplexing.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, yeah, it's a little.
Although that part would be real.
Would it be real? I mean, he's like, first of all, with the hot little honey like Sharon Stone, is she can be married to a guy who's a blue collar worker out in some rock quarry.
Right.
It's not like...
And Arnold Schwarzenegger with his weird mouth.
I mean, she's a hot piece of ass. Like, she can have anybody she wants in this dystopian future, and she's hanging out with some dude living in this shithole apartment.
Her boyfriend is not any better.
Well, that's another thing. I mean, the bad guy, like instead of Arnold Schwarzenegger, she's going to go out. Not that I love Michael Ironside. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, he's great, but he's not...
Daryl Revick from Scanners. Don't forget.
On the same level.
I know. And so Sharon Stone, like she's
They're in
been
different leagues.
She even says at one point, because we've been having, the last 6 weeks have been pretty good. Like she's been getting drilled by some fine man meat, and she's gonna go back.
I think she really likes his peen. Even though she's not really married to him, I think she really likes his peen.
I mean, his whole body. Can you imagine getting drilled by that guy? Wow.
I would be scared.
Would you be scared?
Yeah, because he would just have to flex, and then you would be crushed.
It could be. I mean, I think the two of them had some very athletic interactions. You could tell because she's like...
she was playing tennis with her virtual...
I mean, for a woman that has a boyfriend... Yeah, for a woman that has a boyfriend, she sure suggests carnal... let's have some carnal knowledge today. She's always talking about that, so... And that's why it's great when
she wants him to tie her up.
Yeah, Helm says, how did you like your lady? I mean, I think that's just all of that's just funny.
Well,
Paul Verhoeven
she wasn't really married to him. Like, I think she really liked being married to him.
Oh yeah, she does say you're the best assignment I ever had. I'll bet you. I bet he was. That's right, baby.
Well, he did cheat on his wife in real life.
Come on now, no. Don't cross that barrier. Don't cross that barrier.
Don't cross that
It's
barrier.
not fair to have real life encroach on a movie like this, unless, of course, the director is working through his issues.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
I know, but we allow Arnold Schwarzenegger his transgressions. If he wants to sleep with the nanny and have a kid with her.
But the nanny certainly wasn't Sharon Stone.
Come on now. Sometimes you just gotta get a little strange now and again. Even when you're married to a Kennedy.
Come on, yeah, what the hell? Dude. Dumb.
Well, you just never know what that maid could do.
Apparently, something he liked.
Something Maria Shriver wasn't going to do. Wait, you want me to do what?
You want to tie me up?
No, I'm sure she liked that. But you just never know.
Okay, anyway.
We're off topic.
Let's get back on
to the movie. Let's talk about fucking some more. Sharon Stone. No.
In the movie.
And then here's another thing. What I love too is that when Melina, Rachel Ticketon's character, when they finally meet up, she's like, "What? You're married?" And then finds out. I love that now there's jealousy. Like there's jealousy between.
Well, first of all, Sharon Stone is jealous of his dreams.
Right.
And then
her dream girl is jealous of it's a funny
of the wife.
It's like a call. It's a.
I think Paul Verhoeven was like fantasizing or living out his. He would love.
But he's been married to his wife for like 60 years. But he's Dutch, so everybody gets a pass in Holland. It's like, we understand human sexuality. My wife and I love each other, but he was going to be at one point a priest. He was a mathematician, and now he's making movies.
He's living vicariously through these characters.
Yeah, but if you ever watch him on set directing, he's not living. He lives out these movies.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, but I mean, he himself. Everyone, I think, is living vicariously through Paul Verhoeven, who makes these movies, because he's having more fun than anyone.
Well, I'm sure he's having fun, but what I'm saying is, like, when he's got these people having affairs and being jealous of each other and all that, I mean, he's been loyal to his wife, so... No,
I said they've been married for... I think his wife and him have an understanding. Because they're living... They're Dutch. The Dutch get it.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is, I mean,
okay,
Paul Verhoeven, that guy is. Why do you think he cast Sharon Stone in Basic Instinct after he cast her in? Now, I'm not saying I have no knowledge of any of this stuff, but I'd like to believe that my man Paul Verhoeven. I mean, you look at that guy; he's pushing 90, and he's still making things.
Is he? What's he making?
Yeah. He has a movie about lesbian nuns that we haven't seen yet. Lesbian nuns. I'm like, Paul Verhoeven, you're my hero. Lesbian nuns.
What
Going back to one of that tried and true, all the way back to Black Narcissus. I mean, like the lesbian nun genre, the 70s. I mean, it's his. Apparently, it's like a real story. Is it a
porno?
No, it's either based on a piece of literature or a real story. And I'm like, you know what? You go, Paul. You go. Paul Verhoeven is one of my heroes. You know, I've talked about how I've met him on the show. Met him 3 times. He left a big impression on me. I mean, the guy can do no wrong in my book. I mean, he's still got a great full head of shocking gray hair. I aspire to have his hair. So, Paul Verhoeven, here's to you, my friend. You go, boy. Lesbian nuns.
Lesbian nuns.
But you didn't like Elle.
Oh my god.
You didn't like Elle.
That movie. Yeah, he has an obsession with rape. He has to have rape in every movie. There was no rape in this movie.
Well, he got it from the Bible.
Got it from the Bible?
Sure. There's a lot of illicit, you know.
Elle is so offensive. I'm sorry. It's a terrible, terrible, terrible
But it's
movie.
French.
Don't care.
Are you saying that your man Paul Verhoeven let you down with Elle?
Oh my god.
We'll have to try watching it again.
Oh my.
I mean, I just think you can... You know, the one thing about Paul Verhoeven movies, even Showgirls... I mean, Showgirls is like the Total Recall of Las Vegas showgirl movies. I mean, it's the same over the top, the garish colors.
Over the top.
I mean, all of it, and the religious iconography. I mean, in the original, what's really interesting that this version of the movie doesn't have, that the original script had, was that the Martians are looking for a savior. There's like this legend.
Right.
It had a lot of Dune in it. That one day we're gonna have, like, the Fremen in Dune are like, oh, it's a prophecy, you know.
Dune, yeah, but Dune is way serious. This was goofy.
No, Dune is serious, but the idea in the original script, it was...
You're right. Never see Elle. Don't see Elle.
Well, in the original script, though, that I read, there was this idea that there was a prophecy that the mutants and the people of Mars were in bondage, and that's kind of not in this movie at all. There is, like, the people of Mars. I mean, there's more of a rebellion, but you know, the fact that Cohaagen can turn off the air at will, and he's trying to suppress a rebellion, and Cuado is this religious leader, not a religious leader, but a rebel leader.
Right.
So they get rid of the religious idea of it all, but that was definitely in the scripts that I read. And it's probably best.
Like a religious undertone?
Well, yeah, like the ancient Martians knew that one day, and then that legend or whatever had been co-opted by the human beings that were.
Yeah.
You know, like I love the idea that there's groups of humans that once we immigrate to Mars and it's being terraformed or whatever, that multi-generations of people are going to live on Mars, and then human beings will one day say, well, this Mars is my home. Earth is not my home. I was born on Mars. That's what the Expanse does a really good job of that Mars is a strong faction, and because it's like a frontier, they've built great warships, and they're of sterner stuff than Earthers are.
Yeah, I love the Expanse.
It's great.
Such a good show.
But then this has a lot. It's almost an afterthought. The alien machine. I mean, Cohaagen he's like, I don't want to have I lose power if suddenly anybody can breathe on Mars.
He's not in control of the atmosphere, and he can't, like, you know.
And Ronnie Cox, I mean, worked with Verhoeven on RoboCop. And, of course, Ronnie Cox was Captain Jellicoe in the 6th season of Next Generation. He was in Deliverance. I love Ronnie Cox. You know, I got to interview him for a long time.
We should do Deliverance.
We should do Deliverance. You want to do Deliverance? Wow, look at you all getting all excited. You don't like Elle?
When I saw that
movie... You want to watch a movie about a male rape, a man raping another man, but you don't like Elle?
The entire movie is about how she loves to be raped. It's about a woman who loves to be raped.
Okay, easy, Cheetah.
What woman has ever loved to be raped? It's so offensive. Like, this guy makes a movie about a woman who loves to be raped. That is like the most offensive thing ever. When that guy was being raped, he didn't love it.
No.
He did not love it. Okay, there's the difference.
But Paul Verhoeven in Spetters made a movie where a man gets raped by another man, and that's how the man decides he's actually gay. That's why he got kicked out of Holland.
Well, I'd be offended by that too.
Spetters, we should watch a little. No, I don't know. I don't know if you'd like Spetters.
I'm not going to watch that.
It's about motorcycle racing and male rape. No. I mean, it is. It is. He
has too many rape fantasies.
Well, he's an equal opportunity rapist.
Okay, let's not even.
Movies. Yeah, I'm just saying.
Let's not.
But look. He plumbs those deep, dark depths.
Yeah, Elle is so offensive. I'm sorry. I can't believe it won a Golden Globe.
Well, back to the Total Recall. We got letters about Total Recall.
Oh, yeah. Okay, great.
So we got letters. Let me put on my glasses and read some letters about Total Recall. Tom Jr. Jackson writes in, "Salutations, Ace and Rob. Let's talk about Total Recall. This film is the memory of a lifetime. This is a classic Schwarzenegger film. The film has got everything. Schwarzenegger doing his grunts, Sharon Stone in spandex, Rachel Tickerton, Little People, Freaks, Sharon Stone and Rachel Tickerton fighting, Schwarzenegger getting a divorce, a trip to Mars, and a mystery to figure out why people are trying to kill him. All the classic makings of a great rainy day popcorn film." Totally agree, Tom. Totally agree. The 4K edition is clear and the sound on it is just fantastic. It was fun revisiting a film that my dad and I would watch from time to time when it was on television. You have a good dad. Total Recall is just that. One of those films, if it's on, you just have to watch it and go for the ride to Mars. Two members of the cast who deserve shout-outs are Ronnie Cox of Beverly Hills Cop fame and Michael Ironside, Daryl Revick from Scanners, who both play the quintessential late 80s and early 90s bad guys with cheesy anger problems. Without them, the movie doesn't work. There are a few favorite Schwarzenegger films that I love. Twins, Red Heat, an underrated film with Jim Belushi, Junior, Escape Plan, and The Last Stand, which is almost like a modern take on a Western, bringing WINEning full circle. The Last Stand is really good, actually. So in conclusion, this film, in my opinion, was worthy of an episode of WINEning and also worthy of its 4K release as well. Thanks for reading my letter, and remember, every trip you take to Mars ends up with a visit with Quado, and all you have to do is look for him. Until my next letter, Tom Jr. Jackson. Well, Tom, let's drink to Tom's letter. Tom gets it. Tom and his dad get it. Oh, yeah. Let's see. So, Tom, thank you for that letter, Tom. A great letter. By the way, if you want to send us letters to be read aloud on the air, you can do it at the burnettwork.net website. There's a place to send us letters. It doesn't cost anything. Omar94 comes in with the letter. Omar says, "Hi, Rob and Elizabeth. Nice pick with the original Total Recall. I only recently saw it for the first time last year, despite saying to myself for years I would watch it. And as far as I'm concerned, I made big mistake because it's terrific. I like the performances from Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sharon Stone, Michael Ironside, Ronnie Cox, and Dean Norris. Jerry Goldsmith's music was really good. All the action was great to look at and bloody. I thought the character designs were very good and original, like the woman with 3 boobs and the man with the mutated baby on his chest or stomach. I thought the villain's death, where his head starts getting bigger, was interesting to look at. I also found it interesting how the ending was ambiguous, as an earlier draft of the script had a definitive answer. The movie came out in the summer of 1990, becoming one of the top 10 highest-grossing movies of the year, alongside another Schwarzenegger-starring film, Kindergarten Cop, and it won an Oscar for Special Achievement Award for visual effects. Paul Verhoeven had previously done The Fourth Man and RoboCop, then did this, and then made Basic Instinct. However, his career was never on peak as it was before, as he did Showgirls after Basic Instinct. Come on, Omar, it's only depending on how you look at it. At the time the movie came out, Arnold Schwarzenegger was... Schwarzenegger. That's my wine pronunciation. Arnold Schwarzenegger was at the height of his career. He had done Terminator, Commando, and Predator, which made him well known. But with Twins, this film, Kindergarten Cop, and Terminator 2, he was at the peak of his career as the biggest action movie star in the world. Last Action Hero didn't do so well, but he bounced back with True Lies, absolutely. But by then, his status as the biggest star in the world started to decline. The film was remade in 2012 with Colin Farrell, Kate Beckinsale, Jessica Biel, and Bryan Cranston, but I've actually never seen the remake, so I cannot say anything on whether it's good or not. All you have to know is they don't go to Mars.
A remake of this film?
Yes. I own it, too.
They don't go to Mars?
No, I'm embarrassed to say I own it.
So it's bad?
It's not that it's bad. It's just needless. It's like, what? It's, you know what it is? It's this movie played straight. Played with...
Well, yeah, it was made in 2012.
While it never got made, I would have been interested in seeing Verhoeven and Schwarzenegger team up again, as they were planning to make an epic called Crusade, for 1994. If Verhoeven made that film after Basic Instinct instead of Showgirls, his career peak might have lasted a little longer. Bruh, you need to see Starship Troopers, my brother. Come on. Also, Schwarzenegger's status as the biggest star in the world might have lasted a bit longer as well, as he had True Lies as one of the top 10 grossing movies of 1994. However, it was never meant to be, as Carolco chose not to make the film because the budget would have exceeded $100 million. Carolco chose to make Cutthroat Island instead under the delusional thought it would be a hit and save the studio. It instead became one of the biggest box office bombs in history, and eventually Carolco was defunct. Anyways, it was a nice pick for the original Total Recall, as I did enjoy that film quite a bit. Thanks, and live long and prosper, Omar94. Well, Omar, you know I love your letters. By the way, I want to give a shout out to Daniel Griffith and his Ballyhoo Motion Pictures. Daniel makes special features for discs, and he contributed a great documentary, an overview of the rise and fall of Carolco films. Not a lot of interviews in it, but a great overview that was also written. Courtney Joyner, Courtney Joyner wrote that documentary, and it's quite good. And if you have the 4K disc, I recommend watching it, although I think they had an encoding problem with that documentary.
Yeah.
Maybe not if you don't... I don't know what anyone else's 4Ks sound like, but I had to go back to the Blu-ray and watch it on Blu-ray, and even then
not only then, like, we had to unplug the surround sound and just do it through the TV, because we just couldn't hear what was being said.
Yeah, it was very... I don't know if it was jacked up because of... I really don't know, but it was...
So weird.
It was very weird. It was very weird and frustrating. Let's see what do you all have to say about this movie. Let me go back and see. Let's see, where are we at? Here we go. Let's start with Sheriff Carl. Sheriff Carl says, "This was the first R-rated movie I ever saw in the theater. I was 6. My dad was supposed to take my brother and I to Ninja Turtles again. I had to swear a vow of secrecy to never tell my mom. I got in trouble telling my friend's little bro about 3 boobs." Well, here's to you, Sheriff Carl. Here's to your dad. My dad and your dad sound like dads of a feather, so it's good that you had the dad you did. And aren't you better for it? I mean, can you imagine when you were 6 years old seeing Eccentrica Columbus, the triple-breasted whore from Eroticon 6? I would have loved that. Of course, you probably hadn't read The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, so you wouldn't know. But anyway, 3 boobs, all good. Timbula the Spider Monkey says, Tim says, "I went to see this with a friend and his sister, who came from a very religious family. When it was over, they were shocked by what they'd just seen. I was banned from their house when my friend's sister couldn't stop talking about 3-boobed hookers." Wow, what is it with parents not liking the 3-boobed hookers? You know, God made her that way.
Well, she was mutated.
Well, what do you think? Sure. Radiation, it's not like radiation didn't come from God, too. So radiation and how it reacts, I mean, it was God-given. I think so. Tim goes on to say, "Also, I've made my suggestion for viewer's choice on the Facebook page. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Miller's Crossing. You're giving me the hi-hat. I love Miller's Crossing. It's probably my favorite Coen Brothers movie. What's the rumpus?
Well, we should do it.
Oh, it's great. OG sends in a nice super chat. Thank you, OG. Are you an original geek? An original gangsta? I don't know. Good movie. I love whining about movies. Well, OG, we like fans of whining about movies like you. Here is to you. By the way,
original gangster.
You know, since like doing some business, let's do some business. I forgot to put this up. I will go and let me grab this quickly off the Facebook page. But there's merch. We have merch.
There's merch.
We have merch. Oh, Swag Props has more of his 9 gates.
Ooh.
I love Swag Props' props.
Still no Donnie Darko.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what you. I mean, you can only work so fast or so far, do it so well. So yeah, what do you think about our merch? If I can find our merch.
There are shirts and sweatshirts with my logo on them.
Yeah, and for whatever reason, because I'm not prepared. I'm looking for the link that I posted, and I can't seem to find it. I know it was here somewhere, but there is merch.
You should have prepared this ahead.
I know.
Of time.
Well, you know what? I didn't think about it. I don't think about this as a. I should think about it more like a business. But anyway, it's somewhere. There's a link for merch somewhere on the Whining About Movies Facebook page. Maybe.
Do you think maybe you missed some letters? I think that Philip was saying he wrote a letter.
Black Philip wrote a letter about Total Recall?
I think so.
Did he?
I thought I saw that in the chat. Is that true, Philip?
Well, I don't know. Let's see, Philip. I don't know. I might not have got it yet.
Oh.
You know, that's the thing. You never know. What can I say? You never know.
All right.
But I'll read it back. I mean, you know. S Beam is here. S Beam, by the way, wants to be on. He sent me a letter. He wants to be on Fully Articulated. He makes figures.
Oh, very cool. Are you making a Zed?
I wasn't going to say it. I'm glad you did. S Beam says, fun fact: De Laurentiis had a limit to when willing to stray from the original character. He insisted that someone like Schwarzenegger was out of the question for the part, and even turned him down when Schwarzenegger had expressed interest in the role. For this movie, or Flash Gordon, or for what? Because De Laurentiis did not produce this movie. I'm not sure.
Can you move that a little bit?
Oh yes, I'll move it a little bit. Hang on, I apologize. Swag Cal's here. Swag Props is here. I guess I'm a pessimist because I always picture a post-credit scene where Quaid is sitting on the recall chair, brain gone to mush, eyes empty, grinning and drooling, while Dr. Lull and her assistant are panicking over another lobotomized client. I agree with you. That would have been a great ending for this movie. Yeah. I would love that. But, you know, almost a little on the nose. Almost a little on the nose. Arnold Schwarzenegger, who always he's writing in lately, says, "Hello, Rob and Elysabeth. This is one of my favorite movies. My favorite line is, come on, Cohaagen. You got what you want. Give the people air. Thank you."
I'm sorry, Arnold, for bringing up your, hanky-panky.
Yeah, why you got to do that? Why you got to bring in the real world? Why you got to break the fourth wall in the reverse direction? I'm going to break the fourth wall, but I'm going to go the other way.
Oh, I guess he wrote a letter about Tremors, Philip. Black Philip.
Okay, well, I'll look for it in a minute. Senor Ashish is here. Schwarzenegger's deadpan delivery of one-liners is legendary. Love the snark behind "Consider that a divorce" after shooting Sharon Stone. And, of course, "Screw you, Benny!" as he drills Benny alive. Peak Schwarzenegger. It is peak Schwarzenegger. I got 5 kids to feed. Well, apparently they're all going to starve to death now. Brandon Sheehy sends in a tip and says, "Robin Elizabeth, what do you get if you take Total Recall and extract the dark humor, violence, creepy visuals, one-liners, satire, amazing practical effects, edginess, originality, gore, color, fun, and of course, the inimitable Arnold. Well, you get Total Recall 2012. I'm telling you, man, I watched that movie. I've only seen half of that movie.
You never even watched
the
whole
thing? No, I bought it, and I watched half the movie, and I wouldn't have walked out if I saw it in the theater, but I was so... Like, I looked at this movie, and I'm like... Same with RoboCop. The remake of RoboCop with Joe Kinnaman's a little better, but it's like, why are you remaking these movies? I mean, I understand it's a brand name, but you have failed to capture what... It doesn't make sense. Swag Props Cal says Total Recall came out in 1990. When Hal was just about to sit for my I think was just about to sit for my Q levels exams. I snuck out to watch it 7 times during my supposed revision periods. Suffice to say, my Q level results suffered because of my obsession with this film. Yeah, but now you're making unbelievable prop books, so who's the real winner now, Cal? I am. I'm the real winner because I have a copy of the 9 Gates of the Kingdom of Heaven because of you. So I would say, who cares? I'd say Total Recall was good for all of us. Aeon sent in a super chat and says, anyone who hasn't heard it, the Total Recall DVD commentary with Arnold and Verhoeven is very entertaining. Arnold Schwarzenegger does some pretty entertaining commentaries, and that is true. The commentary with Arnold and Verhoeven on this disc is amazing. Also, the commentary with John Milius and Arnold on Conan. If you haven't heard that, my God, life is not as rich or as tasty as it is until you've heard that commentary. Let me tell you.
That.
That'd be a good movie. We haven't done Conan.
I love Conan. I loved
Conan's
it
great.
when I was a kid.
Sheriff Carl goes on to say, I gotta watch RoboCop and Predator on video first. I'll drink to our cool-ass dads. Skull. Our dads are cool, man. Claudius is here. Claudius Quaid. Bonsoir, Elliot.
Why does he call you Elliot?
I don't know. Maybe it's after Ellen Page. I don't know.
Ellen Page.
I must not be getting Elliot. Elliot. Maybe, I don't know, E.T. Total Recall 2012. How could any movie with Kate Beckinsale and Jessica Biel be not worth watching? More eye candy than Showgirls. I know, man. Kate Beckinsale. I love Kate Beckinsale. I'm a huge fan. She should be in every movie. I just want to hear her talk. You ever see her on talk shows? She's the best. Claudius Cohaagen says, I saw Total Recall in the movie theater. It was fun, but it actually reminded me of Running Man from 1987. Fun fact, Running Man was set in 2019. Heh, they got the future so wrong. Did they, though? No, Running Man's that's a Stephen King book. It was he wrote it under the nom de plume of Richard Bachman. But the Running Man could be remade. There's a movie that you could go back to the original source material and make a great film, and it would be very, very relevant to today. A guy goes on a reality TV show because he needs money to save his family, and they really kind of did that. There was a Quibi thing with that was very, very much like the Running Man. Quibi. So, all right, well, do you have more thoughts about this movie?
It was fun. I enjoyed it. I loved the cheesiness. Yeah, I miss that. I miss that in movies.
I miss it too.
It's whimsical. I like whimsy, so.
It is. I mean, it is kind of it's bloody whimsy.
Yeah.
It's bloody whimsical. It's like Amelie, but bloody. No.
But bloody. No. It's not like Amelie.
It's not like I know it's not like Amelie. I know. Sheriff Carl says there's somebody that's a graffiti artist here in Seattle that for the past few years tags Total Recall with 3 badly drawn boobs underneath. It's the best tagging I have ever seen. That's so random, but so delightful.
Yeah. Interesting.
And that's it. Total Recall with 3 boobs. That's all he remembers. Yeah, I like that. All right.
Why not?
We got to go. My mom wants us to go back to Seattle. She's lonely.
Aww.
My hometown. Got to go back and see Mom.
Yeah, after we get vaccinated.
Yeah, we get vaccinated. I can go see my mom. So okay. Claudius Wellick says, bonsoir, Elliot, is how Terrell Wellick would greet Elliot Anderson in Mr. Robot. Ah. See, I only watched the first season of Mr. Robot.
We should watch that.
We should watch it. I mean, I know what it's about, but I like the first season of Mr. Robot.
I don't remember much. I probably fell asleep.
Yeah. Yes. But that's the thing. I got to catch up with Mr. Robot. Everyone's like, come on. It's just, and I liked it a lot.
I love TV series. I love that stuff.
Well, you've been binging.
I binge so much stuff. Yeah. Surviving Death is Surviving Death. You have to watch it. It's on Netflix. It's a pretty interesting
I'm Surviving Death
documentary about the afterlife and how we don't know anything about it.
You know why we don't know anything about the afterlife? Because no one's come back to talk about what happens.
Well, I mean, there are people. The first episode is about near-death experiences and how people, scientific people, doctors who have experienced near-death experiences and come back with a different view of what happens to us after we die. But then the next 2 episodes after that are really freaky, like...
Okay, we're off topic here, babe.
Sorry.
We're off topic.
I think we should do a show about, like,
So,
shows.
before we talk about, wrap this up, we're going to begin our 2 weeks of Western movies to the end of January.
Yes, we are. Did you pick a movie for...
I did.
Oh.
And we're going to watch our first Western film.
What is it?
Would you like to know what it's going to be?
Yes, I want to know.
My Darling Clementine.
Okay.
My Darling Clementine.
I don't think I've seen that one.
That's what we're watching.
Okay. My
Darling Clementine. Now, let me see. Hang on a second. Let me tell you a little bit about My Darling Clementine. From 1946. I think it's one of the finest, we're talking about classic Westerns. My Darling Clementine from 1946. Henry Fonda, that's all you need to know. Oh. Henry Fonda, who's going to be in another of our Western movies, which is going to be Once Upon a Time in the West, which is another one. But My Darling Clementine is our first movie, just so you know, for Westerns. 1946, and it was directed by John Ford. John Ford is like the... Take Spielberg, Hitchcock. He is that to Westerns. And My Darling Clementine, we're starting out with a stone cold classic.
Okay, great.
So that is now the question is I have for you is, do we do this tomorrow night, or so we do it tomorrow night? Well, because tomorrow I'm supposed to do it's the 600th episode of Robservations. I'm not doing it for 600 minutes. I'm going 6 hours.
Yeah, then maybe we should do it Wednesday.
Yeah, not Tuesday.
Because I'm starting classes on Tuesday, and so the new schedule will be Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sunday, or Saturday or Sunday.
Okay, that's good. So we'll do Wednesdays. So what is our schedule? Wednesday what?
Wednesdays, Fridays, and one of the weekends.
Well, Wednesday. Let's just do it Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday.
Okay, Wednesday, Friday, Sundays.
So we're gonna have at least 6 Westerns.
Yes. And I get to choose one or two. Yeah,
that's fine with me.
Okay, good.
I mean, it's your show. But we should do classic and more modern, classic and more modern.
Yes.
The problem is, now here's the question I would ask for you about this. The Western genre, as we moved into a lot of people talk about, like, you should do Young Guns. Young Guns doesn't count. Young Guns doesn't count. We're going to do classic, we're going to do real Westerns. And if you're going to do a modern Western, Unforgiven and Silverado are legit. Tombstone, which I love, but still it skirts the edge.
Well, I mean, there's like True Grit, and there's...
True Grit's a good one.
It's a great one.
It's a great one.
And there's Django Unchained. There's The Hateful Eight.
No.
Those are westerns.
No.
Yes, they
We're not doing The Hateful Eight or Django Unchained.
Why not?
Because those are genre pastiches, and it's not fair. If we're gonna do westerns, we have to do real westerns. I love Django Unchained, but it is a genre pastiche. It isn't. You can't say it is not a full-on western. We can't go. But
it is a western.
It's a lot of
things. And The Hateful Eight is even more of a western.
They're Quentin Tarantino genre pastiches. Though.
What?
We can't. We have to honor the western genre. If we're gonna do westerns, you got to do westerns.
True Grit.
True Grit's a good one.
What about
but you're talking
No Country for Old Men?
No Country for Old Men is no. That doesn't count.
That's a western.
No, it is not a western. My God, the western genre. We gotta be right. We gotta do right by. Look, Django Unchained could be viewer's choice. No Country. Look, I love No Country for Old Men. You know, as evidence. Oh, don't fall. As evidenced by, I have an action figure. Wait, look. Hang on. You might not know, but I love No Country for Old Men. Look, I have an action figure. I have a No Country for Old Men action figure. I love No Country for Old Men, but you can't do No Country for Old Men.
Why? Because they're too new?
No, it's not because they're too new. It's a look. We need to, if we're going to examine the Western genre, we have to be true to the Western genre. We have to delve into the Western genre.
Dances with Wolves. The Last of the Mohicans.
Last of the Mohicans is not a Western. It's a pre-Western. Last of the Mohicans is a pre-Western. Look, but it's your show. I mean, you want to override me. You want to disparage the great American genre.
I don't. I really don't.
Okay.
I was just being funny.
Okay. Ha. All right.
The Wild Wild West.
That's a TV series.
They made a movie.
With
okay. Will Smith.
Okay. Come on now. Now I'm getting angry.
I loved the TV show. I have to say.
Tim Myers is here and says, "Hail RMB, huge fan of the Rob Castor himself. Bonjour, Elise. I know you're a busy guy, Rob. What is the update on the film festival? I've been promoting my film Closed Doors via Echo-based network streams. Cheers to all of you in the PGS. Thanks. The film festival is ramping up the last, in addition to doing westerns on this show,
that's a good one. 310 to Yuma.
310 to Yuma is great, but he's probably talking about the remake, not the
original.
original.
Yeah, the remake. It's so good. The remake is so good.
What are you, a millennial?
No, I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Anyway, the next...
True Grit has an old version and a remake.
I know, but we're not watching the remake.
Why not?
Oh my God, come on, man.
Why not? Wasn't it nominated for some Oscars? Didn't they win some Oscars?
Fill your hands, you son of a bitch. It's John fucking Wayne. If we're going to watch True Grit, we got to watch True Grit with John fucking Wayne.
Maybe we should watch both.
No. I want test pilots. Sorry, that's a different movie. Come on, man. You got to get into the spirit of this thing.
What's wrong with modern westerns? Like what?
We're not going to watch remakes. Come on.
Why not? Because they're good.
If we're delving into the western genre, we have to really go into it. We can't watch some.
So it doesn't
dilettante.
belong to some time period.
It does.
There was a time period where it was really popular, but there are modern westerns that are really good.
You're gonna make me cry.
Oh, stop it!
I'm gonna cry.
You're too snobbish.
I'm gonna cry.
Come on, man.
Not come on, man. Come on. If we're gonna look at westerns, we gotta look at westerns.
Yeah, westerns. It doesn't belong to a time period.
Yeah, because
you can make a western.
It's
today.
not a western if it doesn't have a John Bon Jovi theme song.
Whatever.
Where do you see My Darling Clementine? John fucking Ford. That's a western.
I'm not saying I love
Quentin Tarantino.
I love old westerns.
Quentin Tarantino.
But I also love remakes.
Do you know what Quentin Tarantino would say if he came onto this show, if we have him as a guest? He would say to me, he's like...
He made a couple of Westerns.
Yeah, but he would say, you shouldn't watch my Westerns. If you're going to do Westerns, he'd give us a list.
Don't
I'll bet you my darling Clementine...
into his mouth. Why do you think he made Westerns? Because he loves the genre.
Right. But he would tell you that if you're going to do...
He would tell you that his movies qualify as Westerns. Because that's what he set out to make.
I'm sure he would, but he said, if you're going to examine, you're going to watch 6 Westerns... Don't watch my Westerns. Go back and watch the great Westerns. Yes, he would.
He would say, watch my Westerns.
He would not. He would say, watch my films after you've seen these 20.
Well, yeah, but we don't have time for 20.
Why are we arguing about this? What about McCabe and Mrs. Miller and The Searchers? McCabe and Mrs. Miller.
I don't know that
That's
one.
a Robert Altman movie. That's, again... That's also a I would call it a post-Western. Because the Western genre has been forgotten. It's fallen through the cracks of history.
Which is sad because I love Westerns.
I know, but you're going to love My Darling Clementine. You haven't seen it.
Yeah, I am going to love it.
Hang on a second. Hold on. Where were we? Klaus von Braun says, "What the fuck? You've only watched the first season of Mr. Robot, Robert?" Elizabeth, Homeland, The Americans, Mr. Robot. It's today's espionage. I loved Homeland. I did love Homeland because...
What was that?
Homeland's the Claire Danes series that was based on...
you would watch that without me.
I did watch it
over here, and I wouldn't... You didn't watch it
I loved
me.
Homeland. By the way, based on an original Israeli series.
Lot.
Yeah, but I started watching it when I lived at Krista's house. I mean, she got me into it. Yes, and I have not watched The Americans either. I got it, Mr. Robot. I know. Christopher Combs subscribed to this channel. So did Catherine Eichseth. Catherine Eichseth. That's a cool name. I think it's Eichseth. Catherine Eichseth. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. Well, thanks for subscribing. Brandon Sheehy says, Robin Elizabeth, can you imagine if we got the Verhoeven Schwarzenegger follow-up to Total Recall set in the Crusades, which unfortunately lay dormant in development hell? Would have been totally, pardon the pun, badass. I know. I would love to have seen that. It's a bummer. S. Beam comes back and sends in a tip and says, Swayze was to play Quaid when the movie began pre-production in Australia with Bruce Beresford as director, but early in pre-production, De Laurentiis' company went bankrupt. Schwarzenegger heard about this and he persuaded Carolco to buy the script for him. That is true, by the way. You are correct, S. Beam. That is true.
That'd be interesting with Patrick Swayze.
Yeah, that you could do a whole story, a whole...
See, I could dig that. I could get into that.
Could you dig it the most?
I'm picturing it now. I think I would really like that movie.
Austin, Augie Hernandez is here. He says, Back to the Future 3 is a Western. Come on, man. Why you gotta hurt me like this? We're gonna watch My Darling Clementine. Directed by John Ford. This is what we're starting with. I thought I was bringing you the best filet mignon you've had ever, with peppercorns and what is it, béarnaise? You put béarnaise sauce on a filet mignon?
Sure, that'd be delicious.
I'm just saying. I mean, I'm trying to bring you the best of the best. My Darling Clementine's one of the best.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
Yes,
but I'm saying there are modern-made Westerns that are also good.
Yes, but they're an empty, soulless shell.
Come on, you're so pretentious, Robert. Come on, man.
I don't necessarily
embrace all of it.
I do I embrace all of it. I embrace all of it.
Come on, don't be such a snob about it.
I'm not a snob, but if we're gonna do Westerns, we got to do it for real.
Yeah, okay.
We can't. We got.
What? Modern-made Westerns are not real? I want to mix it up. I want some classic and some modern things.
We're gonna watch Unforgiven.
Yeah.
And we're gonna watch Silverado.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds good.
I already said that. We were gonna do that.
True Grit.
True Grit, but not the remake.
Remake.
No.
It won some Oscars.
No.
It won some Oscars.
Oh my God, the remake.
Did the original win Oscars? I don't think so.
I don't know.
But I'm not sure.
Hold on now. We're talking one of John Wayne's finest performances, and there were a lot when it comes to Westerns.
Okay, I want to see the older...
Fill your hands, you son of a bitch.
But I like the new True Grit, too. I liked it a lot.
You haven't even seen the original.
I probably haven't.
No, you haven't.
Right, but I really liked the remake.
Oh my God, I can't believe I have to go home with you. Andrew Christie says, Cowboys and Aliens. All right, you know what? I'm just being trolled now. I'm being trolled by all of you. I'm being trolled. I know when I'm being trolled. I can tell. I've been on this newfangled interweb thing for long enough to know when I'm being trolled.
Aww.
I'm being trolled now.
Hey, babe, we built a shed.
We built a shed. We built a shed. You know what? Maybe we can get Starship to sing a song about it.
No,
we built this shed on old Westerns. How about that?
We built a shed, which is a great thing because that means the Robservatory will get cleaned up.
I've been cleaning the Robservatory for since the beginning of the year.
Yeah, but now there's room to move some of the things that you need in storage.
Oh, that's true.
Now we have storage.
Yeah, because I can put more cameras up.
Yes, and then we can
Walk
show
around
the entire Observatory with all of your collections. It'll be great.
All the physical media.
Yeah, and then your figures, we can free the toys.
We can free the toys.
Put them in the glass cases and show all your movies and all your books and everything.
Yeah, but that still isn't going to change the fact that we got to watch some classic westerns here. Let's stay on point. My darling Clementine.
I was trying to cheer you up because you were being trolled.
Our moderator, Justin Toner, says, what about McCabe and Mrs. Miller? The Searchers. So many choices. Great show tonight. Cheers. I'm glad you think it's a great show. I'm feeling a little put upon, just so you know.
Aw, come on, man.
Andrew Christie says, I can hear it already in the ether. Andrew, come on, man. Well, it's true. You said it, not me. Claudius the Kid says, Western is a genre of fiction set primarily in the latter 19th, early 20th century in the West, styled as Old West. Its stories commonly center on the life of a nomadic cowboy or gunfighter armed with a revolver and a rifle who rides a horse. Goddamn right. That's exactly right. Claudius is right. I think Claudius will back me up on this. We got to watch a little... I think Claudius would respect that we're going to watch...
Isn't there a movie about Jesse James? An old classic movie about Jesse James. I used to be obsessed with Jesse James.
Well, there are...
You know, I would get the Time Life Western books.
Well, I'll tell you something. If you want to watch... I'll tell you what. There is one modern Western that I think that we could watch.
What?
That deals with Jesse James.
Which is it?
Walter Hill's The Long Riders.
Okay.
I think that could be one.
I think there's a classic Western about Jesse James.
Oh, there's plenty of them.
Right?
There's more than one, but I'm just saying, The Long Riders.
Sounds good to me.
Pretty great. I think Claudius, though, is going to have my back when it comes to watching a little. We got to establish. I mean, we're only going to watch, what is it, 6 or 7 movies? How many days do we have?
I know. I think 2 weeks is not enough for Westerns.
2 weeks. Here comes my head. It's going to come apart. 2 weeks. Paranormal Adventures sends a super chat and says, ha ha ha, that amazing Western argument caused you to miss Tim Meyer's question. I really love all of this, by the way. I don't even have a horse in this race. Where's Tim Myers? Where is he?
We missed
Tim Myers.
Oh, there it is.
No, I said that. Well, I did talk about how the next 2 weeks is going to be all about the film festivals, and I'm going to get all the rest of the movies up. So, they will all be up. Not only that, I have a trailer that I'm going to debut tomorrow, which I'm going to finish tonight.
Awesome.
Swack says, speaking of Westerns, did you read about John Fusco... Speaking of what, yes. Did you read about John Fusco teasing a Young Guns 3 recently with Emilio Estevez returning? My first thought when I read that, Young Guns in space. How can you make a Young Guns movie with Emilio Estevez who's got to be 55, 56, 57?
So?
Well, it's called Young Guns. The whole point was they were younger. And like half the characters in that movie are dead anyway.
That's true.
They got to call it Old Guns or Older Guns.
Come on, 50 is the new 20.
Brandon Sheehy, If I didn't think I was being trolled before, now I know. Now I know I am being trolled. Rob, you don't consider Wild Wild West a classic of the Western genre? The slavish attention to historic detail is unrivaled, and where else are you going to find a film where both Will Smith and Kevin Kline dress in drag? Post-1995 Westerns only.
Well, I don't agree with that.
That's terrible.
I want to mix it up. Classic and new.
Look, man, we're starting with My Darling Clementine. That means we are the best. Come on, man.
We are the best.
We are the best. I mean, I thought about this long and hard, and I came up with My Darling Clementine.
I'm very happy about it. I just think 2 weeks is not enough.
Claudia says, there was a Brady Bunch episode about Jesse James. Bobby was taught Jesse James was a bad man until he was played by Brad Pitt. The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford. That's a great movie.
Well, we should watch that.
No. I do have it right over there, but no.
Have you chosen any Clint Eastwood Western movies?
Yes.
You have?
Yes.
Okay, because
Unforgiven. We're watching 2 Clint Eastwood movies. We're watching The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Doesn't get more classic than that.
What about the one with the orangutan? No Which Way But Loose. I loved that film when I was a kid. No Which Way But Loose.
Have you ever heard the phrase "to the moon," Alice? You ever heard that? I mean,
no which way but loose.
Every which way but loose.
Every which way but
and
loose.
And any which way you can.
Yeah. And wait, he had his love interest in those, like, was that the film? There was one woman who was like always his love interest in all these Westerns.
I don't know. Sandra Locke.
Yeah.
But I don't know if she was in that. He did her dirty. I can't believe now I'm being. Oh, Mike Bodden is here with a super chat. I love when my moderators send us super chats. Mike Bodden says, "You're on. The Long Riders is a great movie and definitely should be in your rotation, along with Jeremiah Johnson and Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Oh yeah.
And the Three Amigos. You know what? Even Mike Bodden's trolling me. The Three Amigos. I mean, Jeremiah Johnson. What's with all these people like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid is a great movie, but come on, I'm talking about genre-defining films.
The Gambler. I loved that film when I was a kid.
I have to say, I'm getting really sad.
I'm sorry.
I'm just getting really sad.
It's funny, honey. You should laugh.
I am. I'm playing along. I think it's funny. We just keep getting the show running longer and longer and longer. And I mean, if people are going to make me the butt of their jokes, all right.
Aww.
It's fine.
No.
Austin, Augie Hernandez, Shanghai Noon. Now that's a pearl amongst oysters. You know what? I think it's time to talk about Total Recall some more. I was just trying to say what you can look forward to upcoming on the show. And we spent a half an hour on a tangent. A tangent.
We're talking about the next 2 weeks of Elysabeth's. Urban Cowboy. That came up in the chat. Okay, I'll stop now.
Urban Cowboy. Urban Cowboy is an anti-Western. It's about poser cowboys who ride mechanical bulls. That stars John Travolta.
Okay, I'll stop now.
Okay, let's get back to Total Recall. Total Recall. By the way, remember, I'm going to let a shout out. Wait, let's get back to... hang on, let's change the camera angle here. Let's get back to the way the show's supposed to go. Shout out to the lovely Emma Bannon for this beautiful 5-disc Studio Canal all the way from England that I had pre-ordered that was canceled. Lord of the Rings, canceled. Total Recall, canceled. My steelbook of Blade, canceled. Luckily, I was able to make arrangements. Some people helped me out. Thank you all. But now back to the movie. Total Recall. On our whining about movies bottoms up scale. Elizabeth, why don't you tell us what the bottoms up scale is?
The bottoms up scale is from 1 to 4 glasses because there are 4 glasses in a bottle.
4 glasses in a bottle. And on a scale of 1 to 4 glasses, what do you give Total Recall? Paul Verhoeven's 1990 sci-fi work of extreme cinema. What would you give it?
I'm going to give it 3.5 because I really enjoyed this film.
Yep, I
really
too
did.
3.5 stars for me. I mean, you can't call a movie like Total Recall 4 stars.
No.
Not really, but for what it is, it's a 3.5 star movie. It's one of Arnold Schwarzenegger's best films.
Yeah.
Plays to his strengths, and looking back on it now, it's such a wacky genre.
It's wacky, but it did win an Oscar.
It did a special Oscar, special achievement in visual effects
for
Oscar.
Visual effects.
Yes,
And still an Oscar.
It is an Oscar-winning film with an incredible Jerry Goldsmith score and truly a great cast of actors. A really eclectic. You do not see movies anymore cast with these eclectic bunch of actors.
True.
I mean, this is just a very eclectic, wacky bunch.
Yeah, I miss that.
I miss it too. Well, cheers to that. Cheers to Paul Verhoeven's movie. I mean, look, I've gummed up my entire wine glass with my fingers because I was going to crush it. I was clutching it.
We were talking about westerns.
People were trolling me and my erudite desire to show people the great westerns. So, Wednesday night. That's right, Wednesday because of school.
Yes, Wednesday.
So Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday is our new.
Yeah.
That's
our
what
new schedule.
That's Western Week. We're starting with My Darling Clementine, John Ford's My Darling Clementine with Henry Fonda, and you're all gonna love it because you know what? None of you have seen My Darling Clementine.
Gotta watch it.
I'll bet.
I hope there's a watch party.
Yeah, I hope there's a watch party. There's a beautiful Criterion Blu-ray, and you know where it is? Right over there. And we're gonna watch it. So, and you're gonna join us, the 6 of you who come back and watch the episode.
When it's an older movie,
I know,
nobody comes.
I know.
So please come watch the show.
I know.
That's why we got to pick some modern ones too.
I know. We're gonna. So, well, why don't we? We could lay it out. Let's talk about the next 3 movies. If we do My Darling Clementine, then maybe we should do Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, because it's classic, and then Silverado. Because if we did that, we go from the 40s to the 60s to the 80s.
Yeah.
So we're jumping ahead 20 years for each film.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay, is that good?
Yeah.
So here it is. Wednesday is My Darling Clementine. Friday is The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And Sunday is Silverado. We're going to stick to that. So that is our Westerns. Then we're going to...
For the first week.
Then we'll jump back to the past and work our way back up again.
Okay, sounds good.
So we go from the 40s to the 80s.
I like that.
40 years of Westerns.
Sounds good.
And what's interesting is Sergio Leone, the spaghetti Westerns, we do that too.
We don't have time.
No, that's Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. No, that's what I'm saying. Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is a spaghetti Western.
Is
so
it?
Don't say that. Don't say is it. Don't go is it. Just go yes.
Yes,
it is.
yes.
Yes, it is. And it's coming out on 4K this year. Thank you, Kino Lorber. Anyway, on that note, I think we got to end this show.
I think we do.
The long and rambling show. Bum, 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 bum. Andrew Christie says, "Don't lose faith in us, Rob." I won't, Andrew. I have total faith in this audience. You guys are the best.
Just show up, even when we do a classic film.
Yeah.
Just show up, please.
Yeah. And we appreciate everybody who does, but we don't want tumbleweeds. Like I should get like a graphic of a tumbleweed rolling through the frame. I could do something like that. Paranormal Adventures sends in a super chat and says, "I submit Back to the Future 3 for consideration." You know what? No Country for Old Men. He's coming for you. He's coming for you.
But you could suggest it for Viewers' Choice Month.
Yeah, that could. Yeah, the whole Back to the Future trilogy.
Go to Elysabeth's Facebook page and suggest movies for the entire month of February is Viewers' Choice. So you submit your choices, and then there will be a vote.
Yeah, and you go to the Whining About Movies Facebook page to submit your choices. So, I have hair in my face. All February is Viewers' Choice Month.
Yeah.
And we have a special challenge for Valentine's Day. We don't know. We might go out for Valentine's Day, but we're going to have a Valentine's movie. And what is the greatest Valentine's movie ever?
That's true.
That's a subcategory of our Viewers' Choice Awards. We want our Viewers' Choice Awards. They're not awards. Viewers' Choice.
Viewers' Choice.
What is the most romantic movie to watch with your honey on Valentine's Day?
Yes.
That's part of it.
That's part of it.
We should give a prize out for the person who comes up with that one.
But people have to also vote.
Yeah, they do have to vote. They have to vote. So we leave it up to others, which is good. Claudius the Kid says, I love this. See, I knew I could count on Claude. Westerns normally include ranchers protecting a ranch or a town, revenge stories, the pursuit of a betrayer, usually including Native Americans, outlaw gangs, lawmen or bounty hunters, not steampunk robots. Hashtag American individualism.
Well,
God bless Claude.
I'm sorry, Claude. Don't put me in a box, but I mean, I watched Wild Wild West, the show, when I was a kid, and
I like Wild Wild West.
Okay.
I picked it a couple weeks ago. My box set on it's around here somewhere.
You have it?
I have every episode on DVD.
I want to watch.
You can binge it all. I've got all 4 seasons.
I loved that show.
Apparently, you do not watch Let's Get Physical Media because it was one of my special editions.
Today I did not because I was building a shed.
Yeah, which I ended up.
I started the base while he was doing the show.
Claudia says English Patient was supposed to be Valentine's Day, but Chocolat would be okay. No. It's got to be. Well, yeah, that could be. I mean,
if people vote for that.
You know what?
I love Chocolat.
We leave it up to you guys. It's the viewer's choice. We can't weigh in.
Viewer's choice.
We can't weigh in.
So go vote. Well, first we gotta get
English Patient and Chocolat would be our 2 fine choices.
Very fine.
Well, I think those are fine choices.
If we do English Patient, we're supposed to have Claude and Candida on the show.
Yeah, that's true. And not just one of them.
Both of them.
When we do English Patient, we're doing both. Which actually could be kind of fun. That'd be kind of fun.
English Patient is kind of really a downer, so...
Yeah, but you like tragic romances.
I love tragic.
Yeah, you love, but we can't. We have set aside February for viewers' choice, so we can't step in.
You have to nominate movies, and then you have to vote on them.
Yeah, but we could have, since Claude and Candida are the
official couple.
The official couple. Maybe they can join us for whatever Valentine's movie wins.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, Claude and Candida, you're on notice now. You will join us. The 2 of you will join us for our Valentine's Day show, which might not happen on Valentine's Day itself.
Right, it would have to be around
because who knows?
I don't know what date.
It's not like I can buy you dinner.
Well,
nothing is open.
You could order in.
Yeah, we can order in. We'll order in
for after the show.
But then, of course, we'll have to get Zoe and Sophie and Gilberts and Tallulah.
They can get their own Valentine's.
Either way,
Valentine's is on a Sunday.
Oh, it is.
It's on a Sunday, babe.
It's on a Sunday, so
that is
if you're not, there you go.
That could be date night for people.
Date night for people. Super. It's got Claude and Candida. They might be going out though. They've got a boat.
Nothing's open.
Yeah, but they have a boat. You can take out you can sail. You can go out in the water.
Well,
and you can watch the sunset on your boat and drink champagne.
That's true.
Of course, it's February on the East Coast. That's cold. It's as cold as ice. You're willing to sacrifice your love. You're as cold as ice.
That's really cold. And anyway, they can celebrate Valentine's Day and still be on the show because we are 3 hours later.
That's true. After the sun goes down, they bring the boat in. Then they can come on the show because we can't define their Valentine's Day for them.
Why not?
That wouldn't be right. I don't think that's fair.
Well, we'll see how it goes then.
Yes, we will.
So anyway, go nominate and go vote.
Go vote. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to go. Tomorrow is the 600th episode of Robservations. I'm going to be having our judges, not all of them, but a lot of them, are judges for the Intergalactic Imagination Connoisseurs Film Festival, who all are industry professionals and they're going to come talk about their careers and why they're not going to talk about why I picked them for judges, but they're all going to talk about their careers and what they've done and why I picked them and how I've known them and how they got started, and hopefully they will inspire all the filmmakers who participated. And the next 2 weeks on this channel, we're going to have a special emphasis on the imagination connoisseurs and those who made films for the film festival.
Yeah.
And tomorrow we're also announcing the official rules for the short story contest. Open for business.
Very cool.
Why don't you take us out?
Everyone you meet has a story to tell that you have yet to hear, and all you have to do
is listen. And
have a better night.
Have a better night. Thanks, everybody. Oh, wait. Before I leave, I would be remiss if I did not thank my great moderating staff, beginning with Mike Bodden, a moderator who sends in super chats, and Justin Toner, who also sends in super chats, which is great. And Joshua Levesque is here. Thank you for that. And I don't know who else is here. Mike Bodden is here with the band hammer. I want to thank all of you. I want to thank the Richard for having watch parties.
And he's organizing the vote. So
he's organizing the vote. Go vote on the Whining About Movies Facebook page. Remember, if you want to send us letters, you can go to the burnettwork.net. What's it called? You know, a website.
Oh.
You can go there and...
Oh, no, sorry. I thought there was another moderator here.
No, I don't think there is. I think I got everybody.
You got it.
I want to thank everyone for that. And the short story competition is opening. We've moved the deadline into April. We'll talk about that tomorrow. And we have the short story competition and the book jacket design competition, where we're literally going to publish an anthology. And the book is going to be called The Imagination Connoisseurs. And, I kind of made up that term. I made up the idea of an imagination connoisseur. And people have asked me, Rob, what does that mean? Do you know what it means?
That you...
No, what do you think of when I say imagination connoisseurs, what do you think that means? Do you have something defined? Like, what is an imagination?
Well, that you're a connoisseur of imagination.
Yeah, but what does that mean?
That means you value imagination, and you relish in it, and you enjoy it, and you imbue yourself with imaginative things that people have come up with.
Fuck yeah, that's awesome.
Right?
Okay, that's exactly. So what the story contest is all about. I want everybody to the book is going to be called, the anthology is going to be called The Imagination Connoisseurs. And the idea is you can either tell me a story that defines why you are an imagination connoisseur, what forged you, if you're the Excalibur of imagination connoisseurs, what forged you into that tempered steel blade, or you could tell a story that you think would appeal to imagination connoisseurs. I don't know. I leave it up to you to tell us what it means. But the book is going to be called The Imagination Connoisseurs, and my dream is... I don't think there's one. I don't have a... It's not in... I don't have a slipcase book I can get to, but we're going to publish a hardcover, beautiful slipcased edition that we're going to make available, and it's going to be great, and it's going to be filled with stories that you have told us. So, thanks very much for that. And thanks for participating in advance. But anyway, on that note, now we can end this overly long show with a great debate about Western movies where I've been humiliated and let down by all of you. I'm just kidding. Claudia says, Mon ami! I'll be on my government-mandated sequester at home on Sunday the 14th of February, and we will be able to join you for the show.
Yes!
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gentle beings, however you identify across these 28 known galaxies, know now that Claude and Candida, the official couple of the Burnett work, will be joining us on Sunday, February 14th for Viewer's Choice, the most romantic Valentine's Day movie ever. Boy, I've just upped that game. You better bring your A game to this competition because, man, don't tell us to watch something like Love Story.
Well, people will vote too, so
it's true. No one in this audience is going to know what that is anyway. And love does not mean never having to say you're sorry. Don't even try and slip that by me. I know what you're going to try and do. I know. But anyway, so there you go. Claude and Candida We'll have to make a graphic. We'll get a picture of them, and we'll get a graphic. We'll put it up February 14th. We'll make it an extra long show. We'll make it just a
2-bottle show.
It'll be, you know what? Yeah, it'll be a 2-bottle show with pre-gaming. We'll just do a whole
if it's 2
Sunday
bottles,
show.
We're
gonna do what the Ewoks used to do. Celebrate the love. We're gonna yub-nub it all the way up.
Maybe it should be 2 movies. If we're gonna do.
Oh, I don't know, man. We could do. Why not? 2 movies. There's 2 of us. There's 2 of Claude and Candida.
We have to discuss this with them.
It's a couple of movies for 2 couples. There you go. Valentine's Day, 2021.
What's the most romantic film you can think of?
I don't want to. I'm not gonna. No way. I'm not gonna weigh in on this. It's viewer's choice.
Well, yes.
I'm not going to taint it. I leave it up for the viewers to decide.
There's so many good ones.
There's so many good ones. Look, Rob just can't end the show. I cannot. I got to get the hell out. It's time to go. The dog's like, where are you guys? So we're going to go. Why don't you take us out?
Yeah, we did.
We did? Oh. Well, thanks for that.
Have a better night.
Join me at noon tomorrow for a 6-hour Robservations celebrating the Intergalactic Imagination Connoisseurs Film Festival with some of our judges. Thank you for being here.
Good night.
And get your ass to Mars.
And vote.
And vote.